streets in their own capital cities and occupy those public spaces. I'm also here to use this time and space to express my own dissent as a worker, as a unionist, an anarchist, a critical thinker, but most of all as a human being. While the situation here in Australia may not be the same as the one in the US, we sure as hell have our fair share of problems. People must remember that this particular movement is not one that is represented by any party or leader, nor is it one that wishes to be co-opted by any party or leader. Who would no doubtly sell us out in the name of their own upward mobility. There are many people in this movement, and I'm one of them, who are sick of politicians letting them down time and time again. Some of us, unfortunately, have put our trust in those who allegedly represent us in the past and have then been neglected and left by the wayside. There are some of us who once believed that looking to the Houses of Parliament would change things for the better. There are even some of us who have been unfortunate enough to have fallen for the delusion that there is any form of fair and balanced media in this country that provides quality, logical, political debate. I, like many others, did once believe these myths, but I've seen past the filters that the ruling classes throw in front of us to keep us stupid, distracted and fighting each other. That includes the bread and circuses. After my own experiences, which are ongoing, of course, I can confidently say that power does not lie in Parliament. There is no real representation of the people by the politicians or others who claim to be our representatives, and the media in this country is either corporate sensationalist bullshit or state-funded corporate quality reporting that reduces political debate to a partial, fallacy-ridden load of crap. We are expected to believe the past is genuine. Inflation. So there's a penal colony that was set up on stolen land, but we are still prisoners and slaves. We are still prisoners and slaves to the wage system and the oppressive state apparatus. Some of us are slaves to a welfare system that exists purely as a deterrent, as opposed to a safety net for those of us who are unemployed, or in many cases, like you will never hear on the news, underemployed. There's no insult to injury to rub salt in the wounds. Welfare recipients and the young unemployed of Australia are demonised in the media as being lazy and not willing to settle for wages that fall short of the award or even a living wage, while the bosses line their pockets as the job-seeker networks push more and more workers into substandard, scab-run workplaces with poor conditions and expect us to be happy with it. They can add as much sauce as they want to the shit sandwich that they force us to eat, but it is what it is, people. It's a shit sandwich, and it's about time we change the bloody menu. I highly encourage everybody to turn their backs on Parliament. Get involved with your community and your community networks. If you don't have them, look around you and start your own. Do what you can when you can. Turn the TV off. Get your news elsewhere. Stuff it. Write your own news. Get creative. Start a co-op or do some outreach work. Join your union. Read more. If you can, teach others how to think, not what to think. Question everything. Question yourselves daily. Do anything but do nothing and drop out. All of these things are more rewarding than voting for some wanker politician who has their head wedged firmly up their backside. And these things, of course, are community building. which is what we're doing here right now. So just remember, our ideas can withstand the capsicum spray and the baton charges of the police, and we shall keep coming back in spite of their desire to move us on, and in spite of those in the media and the halls of power who would sooner ridicule us and dismiss our protests and views. The fragile facade, as it seems, of lies and deceit that perpetuate our exploitation is crackling at the edges. All we have to do is give it a